Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Today is Christmas Eve. The market was closed early, I think at like 1 p.m. Eastern. That does happen. Tomorrow is Christmas. Clearly, it will be closed. We're also doing a video tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and do it now so I can spend time with my family like you should be. All right, so what are REITs? That is the big question of the day. Someone asked this, I believe, on Instagram. So as my job as a teacher and a financial educator, I get to teach and answer that question. So what are REITs? REITs stand for Real Estate Investment Trust. Basically, a REIT is the same thing as an ETF, the same thing as a mutual fund. As I've told you guys before, mutual fund is a collection of usually stocks all packaged together so you can get it for one simple price. Think of it this way. It is easier to own the entire NBA and not worry about who's going to win the championship as opposed to owning one team and really hoping that you have the best horses or the best players to win that race or win the ring. Very similar with real estate or with REITs, except it's real estate. So, for example, there are hotel REITs that own, and I'll talk about a few of them, that own a lot of Marriott properties or that own a lot of strip malls. The list goes on. So hotels, strip malls, even individual mortgages. There are a lot of REITs that do that too. So basically, I'm putting my phone in my pocket so it doesn't buzz and mess up the mic. So what they do is package all those up together and allow you, the investor, or even larger companies to own those properties and get the rental income from it and get the dividend income from it. The good thing about REITs is they do pay very high dividends in comparison to a lot of individual stocks. They're actually required to spend about 90% of their revenue, I believe, on dividends. So you are rewarded as an investor. The problem with REITs, though, at least right now, it ain't a whole bunch of real estate, at least corporate real estate, right? Like not many people are going into malls. You still have like apartment REITs, hotel REITs. They're on the way back, but those were not the places you wanted to invest. So they can be up and down. Generally, though, it's always, not say always, but it's usually a good chunk of your portfolio that you can put into a REIT or more than one REIT. I treat REITs exactly like I treat a stock. So my rule, I have a 5% rule. I don't put any more than 5% in any one investment unless it's an index fund. Index fund can get all the money. But aside from that, because you never know, in a time like this, REITs that we thought were going to do really well did not do well, and vice versa. So what I'm going to do right now is give you a few just to look out for. If you were to Google top REITs, best REITs for 2021, you're probably going to hit one or two of these on the list. And some of them we've talked about before. So let me get my list together right quick and pull it over to the side. All right. So I've got three on my radar, two I owned, two I let go, and I'll talk about why. So AMT, American Towers REIT, that was the one that owned a lot of the cell tower space. We expected with 5G rolling out that this was going to be a place that was pandemic proof to a degree. That didn't actually happen. I jumped into it very early this year. I thought that was going to be a place that was going to do extremely well. It actually isn't doing all well this year. I think even Investopedia, maybe even Forbes, added it to their list as well. Now, it could do well in 2021. We'll see. But you guys know my process. I keep the winners, and I buy winners, and I sell losers. So AMT didn't make the list. That was one of those that got cut. So AMT over the last 6 months, just the last 6 months, was down 16%. Again, that's why they had to go. Maybe when they get their act together, maybe they can get back on the team. But right now, AMT had to go. Another one that I let go of, but actually did make money, was Equinix. This is the one that owns a lot of data centers, which all of these companies, Salesforce, Google, Microsoft, even Amazon, they have to have these servers and this data stuff somewhere because they're in cloud computing. You got to have a mainframe or whatever you want to call it somewhere in the world. Equinix is one of the biggest companies that does that. However, again, they were only up 2.6% over the last 6 months. In comparison, you've got the S&P 500 is up double digits. You got stocks like, I'm just picking stuff, Walmart, Dollar General, stuff that's still boring that could have got you more than 2.6%. So they didn't meet my bar. They still made money, which is great. I didn't lose anything, but I didn't make enough, at least for my standards. So they had to go. But a lot of people are still looking at this as being a good place to invest in 2021. I'm not totally on board with that at this current place in time. Now, this last one is Apple. It is the Apple Hospitality REIT. Now, actually, if you have been watching these videos and you're sharing these videos, as you should, I appreciate those who are sharing. Make sure you hit the share button. It is 100% free. So anyway, the ones that have been sharing and been watching, I talked about Apple, the REIT, before. Its stock symbol is APLE, not Apple, the phone company, Apple Hospitality REIT, APLE. They own a lot of the Marriott, Hyatt hotels, space, all that kind of stuff. They're in the again, they're in the hospitality business, which is expected to really pop off in 2021 once more people are vaccinated and people start to travel again. It's something I put on my watch list on public. It's just something I'm keeping my eye on. Just very interesting. Over the last 6 months here, it's up 29%, which is very impressive. I didn't go back and see over the last 4 or 5 years, but I've been seeing it cross. When I read every day or I'm scrolling through my investment resources, I see it pop up from time to time. At one point in the year, it wasn't all that nice, which obviously makes sense. It fell just like the airlines and all the other hotels. But now that we have a vaccine, now that we can kind of see the end of the tunnel, it's spiking. And that's what we see here with Apple Hospitality REIT. Again, in general, REITs are generally pretty good. They do pay high dividends. If you're the type of investor that says, look, I want my investment to grow and I want to get paid from it, that's probably a place that you at least want to consider. At the current moment, I don't think I own any REITs. No, my son owns one. I think it's Prologis, PLD, I think is the symbol. So he has that. It's done well. I haven't checked on it because I haven't checked on it in a few weeks because it was doing well and we left it alone. So I'll check back in June. But that one had done well. And I've seen that one on a few lists as well. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. It is basically a mutual fund or an ETF for real estate. Usually very solid. They pay high dividends. You usually want to consider which one do you want and why, and understand what that REIT does, because like all investments, they're going to have highs and lows. AMT was down 16% this year. That is terrible based on what we've seen in the market, but it doesn't make it a terrible investment for forever, right? There have been many, many years, and I've had clients that have had it. One of my best advisor friends on Instagram is like, look, it's been an ATM for me, not AMT, because they've been getting paid from it for a very long time. And you have to consider what the dividends are, because that counts towards your wallet, towards your wealth, and whether you want to reinvest those or not. All right, that's it for me. Those are REITs. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you own any REITs now? What REITs do you have on your radar, and what do you think about REITs in general? Let me know in the comments. Make sure that you go to buildingbread.com/free, sign up for our email list, like, subscribe, share, all those things. I'll talk to you guys later.